Yo, crypto nation and mining family. Crypto nation and mining family. What's going on? Of course, like always, it's not financial advice. Yo, crypto nation and mining family. What's going on? So, as you know from the last video, you would have seen exactly where I left off, which was we built the Chroot, and we got it in 64-bit mode so that we've unlocked the full potential of the 4 gigabytes of RAM on here. So, baller. That is exciting news, guys. So we'll be able to move forward from here. But before we move any further, guys, let's check out hotrodmining.com. Yo, guys, so you can come up on there, support the channel a little bit if you'd like to. If not, whatever, you know. It just kind of helps me keep stuff testing and all for you guys. Of course, you know, you get some awesome shirts, hats, and of course some PC equipment. But after all that shameless shilling, let's dig in. So, this is where we left off. Boom. So we'll be able to pick up exactly right where I need to be. So, we'll start to now that we have an updated Pi in 64-bit mode, we can start finally building XMrig. Not XMR stack. I will not put that on this Pi. It acts more like a virus than anything else. So, let's go ahead and start building this. So, change directory. We'll go into the home. Now that we're in the home, we're going to make a new directory. So we're going to make the XMrig directory. Boom. Ba-boom. So now we're going to start building this thing. So bam. Copy. And yes, I do have this little cheat sheet up over here, guys. It makes this a little easier. Speedlines it for me because it's all my information's all compiled. So now we're in the XMR. Since we've made our XMrig directory, we're now inside of the directory. So we're basically, for anybody who's in Windows, we're in the XMrig file. So now we've got to actually make everything to go into it. So now that we're in it, for the first time, guess what, guys? We're going to be using the, since XMrig is open sourced, we're going to be using the GitHub link for, yep, XMrig. Time to get that stuff. Ooh, look at that. Boom, already on there. So we're going to change our directory once again. So now we're in the XMrig like that. So now we're going to be pulling in some of the libraries for this. This is actually really interesting because now we're actually putting in the meat and potatoes into this thing. So this is going to be the libraries for the source code for the miner, and any other dependencies that it may need to execute the mining process. And of course, yes. Ooh, look at all that code. Oh. Unpacking, preparing. Ooh. Much different than doing this on Windows. On Windows, it was fight Windows Defender, and it went on. This, you gotta kind of manually do everything. But the nice thing is that you're not fighting, oh, this is a virus. No. It's just gonna let you do it. Alright, so change out the directory again since we've made that. So now we need to make a build directory. So now we've done that. Now we need to make a CMake file. Just like that. And guess what? My favorite thing. I'll type this one out. Make it so. Alright. Alright. Looks like it's nice and compiled. So basically we can run a command that will check the version and everything on there. So let me grab that. So we know we're on the latest version, 8.3.0. So now you can actually run it from here, but I want to do one extra step. So basically I want to have one function that pulls the miner up. But before I do that, we actually got to make the configuration file, because you can sit there and run the miner right now, but it'll fail to execute because there is no configuration. So let's get to that one next. So pull out this big old code here, copy. All right, so just made it. So now let's get in there and play with it a little bit here. Copy. There's your JSON file, guys. So the mouse has very limited functions in here. You can't move the cursor around. You actually got to do that with up and down arrows. And as you see, I can sit here and run it up and down all I want, like this. So let me pull up over here. Here? Yeah, here we go. I had to remember which file I put this into. So, like I said, the mouse has very, very limited functions, and I'll show you where its limitations really are. And I just pop FM on there. And remember, if you click off of this screen, you got to click on it once before you can really function it. So I'm going to go under the quotations or the curly Q brackets, and I'm going to slowly erase. Don't just mash the delete button and let her sail. And then I'm going to get right on there, and I'm going to right click it and drop that. Alright, so let me get this one out of the way. And then I've got a Monero donation wallet address from Monero's website directly. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and we're going to get underneath these curly Q brackets where it says your wallet address. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to erase that out of there, and we're going to go ahead and right click it. Bam, there's that. Then instead of having a password as X, I'm going to go ahead and name the pi test pi. Just because on Monero Ocean they don't have any. It didn't copy that one. Oh, oops. It gave me a JSON file instead. Oops. So we're gonna go ahead and I don't know why it didn't save the first one, but go ahead and fix that right now. Here we go. I said copy. There we go. So we got the test pi on there. All right, cool. So if you come down a little bit further, there's a little spot down here that says print time. That's just how many times it shows it connecting in with Monero Ocean. And then you got health time, how many times it shows all the cores on the ARM processor. There are 4 cores on the ARM processor. You can change it down to 30 seconds or whatever you may want it to be. I'm going to leave it right at the 60-second mark. It doesn't make any bit of difference to me. There is one other thing that I usually do. Where is it? Here we go. So I actually put in a little bit of a, oops, get after that one, tab, and then I'm actually going to drop in, because it's not there right now, but it is, copy, paste. So I just put in RX. I just put Monero in there. You just watched it happen right there. And if you notice that I've got some numbers in with it, these are affinity levels. So it's just how it's hitting the cores. I've already, I found a configuration with that in there, and it seems to work very nicely. So, and then if you notice the position, I put it over the CN/0. You want to keep it in that position too. And then from here, you can just hold down Control, press 0. I mean, not 0, the O button. Sorry guys. So Control and O. And it'll pull up, it'll make the bottom bar look a little funny. Just press Enter. You just basically save the JSON file. Okay, so from here you can exit. So Control X, bam, you're out of there. Just that quickly. So now, pretty much the miner can run. But I'm gonna make the path to it a little bit nicer. So what we're going to do here is I'm gonna make a run file. It just makes the execution of XMR a little easier. So, whoop. Go ahead and run. So we just made a run directory. And what we need to do now is we need to move XMrig and the JSON file that we made into the same callout. So MV means move. I'm actually going to if you ever are like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm doing this right, you can just go ahead and tab complete if you want to know if you're doing this properly. So /H tab, so home, X tab for XMrig, B for the build, and then XMrig. Boom. So that's the full directory on there. We're gonna come up over here, and this was like a generic code because you can actually you can construct this in a couple of different ways. So it depends on how you want to construct it. But I will leave all the coding in for you guys to be able to just copy and paste. It'd be nice and easy, because if you do it exactly the way I'm doing it, this part will be easy. So from here, we're gonna / once again, H tab complete, XMrig, and then build, and then big dot tab for the JSON. And get the other side of there, and boom. So we just made the run file, right? So I just need to add one more just so that I am locking it into the user. So copy. Alright, so technically I can just run it, but I'm gonna double check one thing. really fast here. Just because I need to go back into the JSON file real quick, and I wanted to make sure that I did something. Wrong file. Dang it. Exit out of that one. I did not pull it up properly. Oh, I know why. It's now run, not build. Oh. That's right. Let's see. If you're ever in doubt, tab complete. There we go. I put it in a new spot, so I had to remember that it's in the new spot. And whenever I do that, I'll put a notation down below about that too, so don't worry. So, reason why I was coming back in here, and I knew I didn't change it. So, there is a donation level on here, so you can go ahead and change that. If you change it to 0, it'll default automatically to 5. So, don't do that. You got to change it to 1. All right, 1 will be the lowest that you can do. I'll tell you in just a second here. Hold on to that thought. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save this. Hit enter, and then we're going to go ahead and exit up out of here. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to test it to see if it will run, right? So XMrig, right? And then dash, and then we can do dry run. Boom. So we know that it just worked. We got an OK. Look at that, a beautiful OK. And then if you also notice on there, there's the donation level, level 1. So you got the lowest donation level you can put on there if you just compile it directly from source code. So if you guys want to sit there and want me to show you how to get that number down a little bit lower, get it down to 0, and I'm actually in the process of trying to figure out how to do this on Windows also, and what I do here should be the same. It should be similar on Linux, but I want to try to figure out how to do this on Windows. Just saying. And if you want to do that, you're going to have to get into the Patreon for DCA Adventures that we are, as a collective, putting together. This will be something that I give as some behind-the-scenes private knowledge. So if you want to know how to remove the dev fee off of there, get into our Patreon account, guys. If you sign up for the tier level 4 mining, then you'll be able to get some of that privy knowledge from me. And with that, guys, I hope to see you in the Patreon. And like always, I'll definitely see you on the next one. Oh, one other thing. Before I forget, the next time they make a update on this, I'm going to make sure that I do another video showing how to actually update the miner in the Pi. So this way you guys will be able to reference back, including myself, in case I ever forget. But this way you guys will be able to reference back into it and be able to update your miner if you ever notice that your miner's out of date, stop mining or something like that. If it stopped mining altogether, hopefully I will have a video that will by that time, because if you have any major catastrophic issues, so will I. So If there's any issues that I have running with Monero on my Pi, I will definitely give all of you guys updates on there. So definitely, while you guys, if you have any questions or comments, certainly drop them in down below. And while you're down there, smash that Lizzy like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, share this with one other person that might be interested in mining some of that Monero on their Pi. Yo, and like that, with that guys, I'll see you all on the next one. Yo.